Leadership and Power by Alfred Durantes for LDR 300, due December 17, 2018. Dr. Leah Rabi is the instructor. In this video, leadership and power will be discussed. There are different types of leadership, and they each hold a certain amount of power within an organization. To be successful in the role of a leader, one must know how to use the power that has been given to them. Will they use their power to positively motivate staff, or will they use it to intimidate and mistreat their employees just to get the most production out of them? Power and its relationship to leadership. Power is the ability to influence, power is the ability of one person to influence others and exercise control over them. Navandi A. 2015, page 143. When it comes to leadership, power works hand in hand with it. Any individual in a leadership role has the power to lead their direct reports in a completion of a project or sway them to take their side in a debate or discussion. However, with power comes responsibility. Power can be abused to the point where employee morale can be brought down, and employees begin to leave for better opportunities or different leadership style. Successful leaders can use their power for greater good of the company and its employees. These types of leaders will take the time to encourage their staff to perform at their best and welcome their opinions that can improve processes. A happy employee will always be a productive and loyal employee. The 5 sources of power. One of the most widely used approaches to understanding sources of powers come from classic research by French and Raven, 1968. They propose 5 sources of power vested in the individual: legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, expert power, and referent power. Navandi A. 2015, page 147. Legitimate power based on a person holding a formal position. Others comply because they accept the legitimacy of the person of the power holder. This is the standard practice in today's corporate structure. A chief executive officer has complete power over a company's operation and does not answer to a board of directors. Reward power. Based on a person's access to rewards, others comply because they want the rewards the power holder can offer them. Some leaders use this form of power as incentives for their employees to perform their jobs because they will get something in return for their work. Coercive power, based on a person's ability to punish. Others comply because they fear punishment. This type of power is usually seen in lesser developed countries. They punish their employees for not performing their jobs as instructed. Expert power, based on a person's expertise, competence, and information in a certain area. Others comply because they believe in the power holder's knowledge and competence. This form of power is followed because the leader has instilled a sense of confidence with their employees because of their previous experience. Referent power, based on a person's effectiveness to and friendship with others. Others comply because they respect and like the power holder. These types of leaders use this type of power to develop a more personal relationship with their staff. They tend to be more approachable and accepting of new ideas. The relationship between influence and power. The relationship between influence and power is based on an individual's skill and ability to convince others to follow their instructions. Leaders are tasked with achieving certain goals and must find the best way to achieve them. Power creates both temporary and enduring cognitive changes that transform the way individuals assimilate and differentiate themselves from others. Voyer, B.G., 2013, page 1. What this means is that the leader must maintain control within them and not let the newfound power go to their heads. They still need to earn the trust of their employees if they are to successfully convince them to follow their directive. They must understand today's generation and use that knowledge to gain that trust and loyalty. Previous managerial styles of "do what I say and do not question my authority" is an old way of thinking and will not work in today's generation. who is always looking out for the next best thing and will not tolerate being mistreated at work. Professional relationships. When leaders and staff are in sync, there is nothing that cannot be accomplished. A leader must always maintain professional relationship with their staff and also establish a sense of approachability. An employee will not perform their best if they fear their manager. According to Hirakawa, R.Y., Impact of Managerial Power on Persuasive Strategy Selection by Female and Male Managers, 1990, though the amount of female managers has been on the rise, the studies have found some differences in their managerial styles. Women tend to be more communicative with their employees, whereas men are more assertive in their use of power. If an employee has a better understanding of what is required of them, they tend to complete tasks with minimal supervision, allowing their managers to focus on other tasks. It is acceptable to know your employees on a more personal but professional level, so a leader can help them improve their skills and be more valuable to the company. Conclusion: if an employee is to be more productive, they must trust their leadership and establish a professional relationship for the good of the company. This can be achieved through successful leadership that sees their staff as an asset to the company and not a commodity. The value a leader places on an employee will be like a return on investment for the organization. If a leader is demanding and abuses their power, an employee is more likely to leave the company that has better leadership. Thank you for your attention.